investigation came, they did the investigation and they said, get the fuck out my face. And most people will do just that because they're like, but they said,
get the fuck out my face. So I gotta get the fuck out their face.
Right. Now, this is telling you re-investigation, which means that if you are persistent,
we'll go back and check our records.
And now what you get, the outcome is, oh yeah, it was all
Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. It's grounded in Gus. I'm going to give y'all about 2 minutes to see if anybody come in because I know I'm late. Yeah, I'm like 15 minutes late. All right, so they already started coming.
you got your thingy?
Nakai got it in the room. That'll be better. It's right against the wall on the right hand side. He probably sleep. Just go and grab it. He in the bathroom anyway. I'm sorry, y'all. Give me a second. I hope it worked with this case on there. This case is real big. This case is. See how it's thick on the. Let me just take the phone out. The back part. Go ahead, Gus. Gus, you know everything, Gus. No, you're the engineer, babe. I just told you. It's not gonna fit. Let me just take it out. Okay. Yeah, I know. I'll be fucking the live up every time I should have did all this before. Oh, I can't get it out the case. Oh. Yo, I'm telling you, it seems like we old as fuck, but we really not. And it's just like society with all their new gadgets and shit trying to make us feel like we old. Babe, let me do it, babe. Thank you, sweetheart. That's bad, right? Okay. All right, guys. So we are about to read you guys one of the correspondence from a company called LexisNexis. If you do your research on LexisNexis, you'll find that they are wait, what does they call themselves? The solutionists, right? It says they are risk management solutions. So I learned a couple of years ago when I started investigating all of this mess, these lies that was told to us. I found out that LexisNexis was the top company for all the top credit bureau, credit agency that most companies use, and they've been reporting on you since you was a child, which is highly illegal. But y'all know how I always say I always start at the top and then work my way down because I don't like dealing with the smaller people that can't really do nothing. So I told y'all last week when I reported that my student loans were removed off of my credit report from Experian. It was interesting that I seen all of my stuff on my credit report for Experian come off except for one lie that was on there. So I said I'm gonna wait and see how long it take for them to get that off. And while I was waiting, I got a letter in the mail from LexisNexis. So this letter is really thick. It's really thick. So I'm like, here we go again. They're gonna say I gotta send all this shit in and do all of this, and I'm not doing none of it. So I said I'm not even gonna read that shit. But something told me just open that shit, read it, and you'll deal with it tomorrow. I opened that shit and it said, all right, my husband about to come in and read to y'all this luxurious, lucrative, beautiful letter that was sent to me. This letter of admittance to their crime that they were so arrogantly okay with. Sorry, babe. And talk up so they can hear you.
Okay, you want me to read everything or summarize it?
I want you to break down to where they said they fucked up, the reinvestigation, and all of those accounts. The ones you was highlighting. I mean, it's really big, so you don't gotta read them all of that.
Okay, hold on. So
You can start with the cover letter though. Read the cover letter to them so they'll know what's going on. Yeah, and there go the back of it.
okay, so let me start with what they said they were. Look at that, where it was just arrogant with it. Oh, here we go.
But I don't want you to start there. I want you to start with the cover letter so they know what's going on.
But that's what this right here makes sense to me. They should have started with this.
Hey, babe. But I'm asking you to read the cover letter first, please.
All right, dear Fadia Michelle Ward.
Damn, nigga, don't read my name and the motherfucking account number and my social security number, you creep. Oh my God, did I have to tell you?
Yeah.
Nigga, read the cover. Start from the second word, because you retarded.
Okay.
You. Start from you.
I'm just reading.
I cannot believe this. Did you smoke before you did this? I told you. This shit is unprofessional.
Regarding results of re-investigation. I thought that was funny. Results of re-investigation. Please be advised that you may receive multiple communications if you dispute multiple items on your LexisNexis file. Thank you for your recent contact with LexisNexis Risk Solutions Group regarding information associated with your file. Any changes in the data within your file are made in the compliance with and applied to consumer reports in quotation marks as defined by the Fair Credit Reporting Act, that is FCRA, FCRA, Title 15 USC subsection 1681 at sequence. So, and others basically, and what follows is what that means. Generated by LexisNexis only. All right, so just so we don't get lost in the sauce here. What they're saying is that we are a risk solutions group. What that means is that when people say, I want to invest my money in something, LexisNexis as a company, you can go to them and pay them, and they will give you information. And that information you can use to make decisions about your investments. So what that's called in investing or in dealing with money is risk. Risk management, risk solutions. Risk is when you put your money out there and that money may not come back. So in order to eliminate or lessen risk, you ask questions. And these people are the people who have a lot of information on people, on transactions of individuals. So therefore, when you ask the question, if I put my money into this person, will I get it back? Well, LexisNexis has a track record of whether or not you as an individual will give that money back. And this is what they do. They build their business on this. So as a rule in general, LexisNexis reviews, this is back to the letter. As a general rule, LexisNexis reviews all relevant information provided by a consumer regarding disputed items on their file. If the consumer provides source-based evidence, I'm going to say that again. If, my elder used to say, if is a little word with a big meaning. If the consumer provides source-based evidence proving their position, LexisNexis will update the file with the new information provided. LexisNexis has completed a re-investigation And the findings are reported below. All right, so let's stop there. First of all, as a general rule, LexisNexis reviews all relevant information provided by a consumer. First, you must understand LexisNexis just told you that we are in the business of collecting information. If it is business, when they say relevant information, it's relevant to their business. If it is relevant to your business, that's your business, not LexisNexis business, which means they don't care about your business. Okay? So when it says as a general rule, they're saying we'll review all the stuff that you sent to us. And if you got a problem and you say this is wrong, yeah, we'll look at it. But
well, the people that's paying me is telling me it's right.
Right.
So I'm gonna go with them.
I'm gonna go with that.
Okay, sir, and there's nothing I can do. I'm just gonna be a bum the rest of my life. Yeah. That's what they say when they send you back the this account has been verified. Right. Now remember, they always tell you your account has been verified. Go ahead, babe. Read them about the verification.
Okay. So, and then they say they will update the file with new information provided. So basically, like my wife just said, they're not on your side. They are collecting your information, illegally sometimes, but they are collecting your information, and they're not on your side. They don't care about you. The people who pay them, that is their interest. They're interested in getting paid, just like every one of us. So you go out to work and you got a job or whatever, you got your own business, whatever it is, you're going after your money, right? Mm-hmm. You're going after your interest. They're no different. Their interest is to getting paid too. And they get paid when people come to them and say, hey, here's some money. Tell me about this person. So they're interested in getting that money. What your interests are, that's your business. Mind your business, because they are not about your business. But let's go on. So they said LexisNexis has completed a reinvestigation. What that means is that Grounded has already went to them and said, hey, man, this stuff ain't right. And they said, yeah, we'll review, because that's our general rule. So we review. Yeah, we looked at it. It looks right to us.
It's been verified.
It was verified.
We have verified this account.
This is all verified. Everything looks good here. Right? So this is a reinvestigation. So now they have to go back and do it again, because they were prompted to by a major, not a minor. A major, which is a living being, prompted them to review this record, because only the major can do that. So they reinvestigated, and then they list all the case numbers, which are 56 in total. Mm-hmm. This, and it says case type, dispute statement. Customer states that the record detail is not associated to them. The results of the reinvestigation. We have reviewed the information from our identification records and determined that the data being reported is unverifiable.
But they just told me it was verified. In your first investigation.
Right. The data in question has been removed, and our files have been updated after research conducted with the following source. Pay attention to this part.
Pay attention.
These are the sources that they get their information from. So this is the company LexisNexis, and their source is LexisNexis Consumer Center, P.O. Box, whatever, in Atlanta, Georgia. So remember when you was in school and you used to have to cite your work? Right? When you had to make a paper or something, you couldn't just say, you know what? I believe that the sun rises in the west and sets in the east. You couldn't just write it down and say that. You had to cite a source. It's like right? They used to say, you can't use Wikipedia, you can't use Google, you gotta cite a source. Okay. Or even in English class, when you say the definition of garbage is garbage. And the teacher would say, well, no, you can't define the word with the word, right? You got to define it with something else. So you can't source something with the same thing that you are, right? You got to go to a different source, right? To make you valid. I guess not here, because LexisNexis said the source of our investigation was LexisNexis itself. Yeah, we checked. We looked at our self, and our self said, no, that's right. But when a major stepped in and said, I beg your pardon, they had to look at themselves and say, no, we frauding. My bad. We did a reinvestigation, and we found, yeah, it was unverifiable.
See, but what I asked them was, give me all your records where it's all verified.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, the first thing you sent me, you said that shit was verified. So if you reinvestigated and you found that it was unverified, I need all your records stating why you thought it was verified in the first place. And that's called an account audit. And they don't want to give you that shit. So go ahead.
So they said, we reviewed the information from our inquiry records. Now, first, they reviewed information from their identification records. This is now reviewing information from their inquiry records and determined that the data being reported as unverifiable. The data in question has been removed from our files and has been updated after research conducted with the following source. You think the source is going to be something different? No, the source is LexisNexis.
These motherfuckers is the problem, and they trying to be the source to the problem that they created.
The solution.
I mean, yeah,
they're trying to be the solution to the problem. So, the source is LexisNexis Consumer Center, PO Box, whatever, right in Alpharetta, Georgia. So a different building from the same company that told you go kick rocks. All this stuff is right. The same exact company said, no, we checked again, and no, yeah, it's unverifiable.
Hold up. Why was it so important that they were verified the first time and now they're all of a sudden not? See, this is where I come in, because I take it all the way to the end. You need to tell me why it's like this now and why it was like that before, because all of this is where those 56 accounts come from. I've never in my life had more than 3 debts on my credit report for my entire adult life. Where the fuck is those 56 accounts coming from on there? And they did not give me what?
Have you had 56 inquiries, maybe? Maybe you have 56 times you tried to get a car.
No, I added up on my credit report. I added up all the inquiries. None of that added up to 56 accounts.
So you never had 56 different attempts. You've never had 56 opportunities to buy a house. You never had 56 opportunities to get a loan from somebody in which you didn't pay back or something. So where are these accounts coming from?
Now, to my real followers who've been paying attention to me and my husband's journey into this bullshit. If you remember, when we went to go apply for that evergreen loan at Key Bank, they denied me because I had a foreclosure. Remember? On that paperwork I showed y'all. And I said, and I'll let y'all listen to the recording, I have never applied for a mortgage in any state because I don't fucking believe in it. I remember saying that to the bank manager. And she said, it's on the paperwork. They gave me the paperwork back, and that shit literally said for a foreclosure. So one of those 56 accounts is somebody who opened up a mortgage in my name and got a foreclosure on it, and I still have no idea what and who that was. But it's them in the background doing shit with our accounts that we do not know. That's why it's important to do a forensic accounting on your record. I'm sorry, Gus, go ahead. No, I just want to draw it back. Draw that shit back.
Yeah.
Because you know damn well I don't apply for nothing.
We have, here's another one. We reviewed information on our online marketing records. Pay attention to this one too. We reviewed information from our online marketing records and determined data being reported as unverifiable. The data in question was removed from our files and has been updated after research conducted with the following source. Here's the source. AcquireWeb. all caps. It is an internet business. In conjunction or cooperating with Venture Development Center Incorporated. This company is located in Connecticut. But it don't matter where the location is because it's an internet company. What they do is, as you are browsing the web, and you know how you clicking on stuff and then something pops up and it says, hey, we have cookies and, or do you want to see what type of cookies you can collect? And you see those pop up and you just close them, or some people just accept all, whatever. You just click on it. You just keep going up. No worries. Acquire Web is acquiring that. Every time you click on something, they're acquiring that. And when you say, where do I get this charge for this house, for this boat, for this? Where is this coming from on my record? I didn't even know that it was possible for me to even do that. Well, because someone asked AcquireWeb for information about you, and AcquireWeb gave that information to them. Because AcquireWeb and Venture Development Center, it's just another company like LexisNexis. They gather information. Someone comes to them and says, hey, man, I'll pay you for that information. They sell it. And all of this is legal when you're doing it to minors.
Keep going, babe. It just keeps repeating. They wiped me from everything. That means they had me on everything.
We have, and mind you, Grounded does not have any, like she said, anything else on her record but those three things. So it's not like she's out there bouncing from house to house, car to car, job to job. There's no reason for her to have these records.
I don't have no discount. The clothing stores like y'all have, or
the card, the
I don't have any.
Card,
I don't do cards. I don't do any of those things. So my credit shouldn't be any of this foolishness. And debts that I paid, and I have records showing and I paid it, is the three things that was on my credit report that I have been trying to get off for years. Go ahead, babe.
We have reviewed information from our address characteristic record and determined that the data being reported is unverifiable. The data in question has been removed from our files and updated after research conducted with the following source. So this is LexisNexis connecting with a source to find out if your address is correct. And what is the source? Well, the source is LexisNexis Consumer Center in Atlanta, Georgia. We have reviewed the information from our address characteristic record and determined that the data reporting was unverifiable. Now, I said to myself, why they just say the same thing again? Didn't they just say that?
No, it's different.
Well, watch this. The data in question has been removed from our files and updated after research conducted with the following source. Source being the United States Postal Service in Washington, D.C. If you think this company is not about its business, then you are sadly mistaken. We need to be as diligent as this company, because this company says, we will collect information about you from your browsing, from your jobs, from your consumer activity, and we will verify your address with ourselves, right? But we even gonna go the extra step and go to the Postal Service in Washington, D.C. just to double check, because we about our fucking business.
No, not because they about their fucking business. It's because I was about my fucking business when I said, I will not accept that. You're lying and you have to do your job the correct way.
Well, no, that's the follow-up. That's what happens. That's what I'm saying. What you did was a major move. What they're doing is a major move as well, though, because what they're doing is they are protecting themselves. So that way, if someone was to come back and say, hey, you lying about something, they can say, hey, well, the last time we checked with the United States Postal Service in DC, this was the address. And if we wrong, hey, we wrong. But look how diligent they are about their business, about covering their ass. This is the type of diligence that we need to have. And if you don't, then you just got to shut the fuck up, because you're not being a major, you're being a minor, you're a child. Go sit in the corner. You know what I'm saying? This is what they doubled up on her address to be sure that this was her address. And when she said to them, yo, what you got on there is wrong, they said, go sit down, child. So you have to come at them right.
Because I just wouldn't sit down. And I was like, oh my God, I've been to all them conventions about your credit. I've done everything. I waited to June because they on summer vacation. I waited to November because they on holiday vacation. I did that. I did all these things for all these years trying to make it work. All the fucking books on credit, all the ebooks. Everybody have all this foolishness that you got to do. And none of that shit worked. All I had to do is read what the country set up about credit. That was it.
Let's get into that. Based on your state of residency, you have additional state-specific rights. So this is what, when we're talking to you and y'all call us and you say, can you help me get, they're trying to foreclose on me and can you help me stop it? And or I'm in court right now and they're trying to charge me with this and can you help me? When y'all call with these things, you have to understand that it is state-based. It is based on the state that you're in, because every single state is a country. I know you think this is a country. It's not a country. It's a business. And it's a confederacy of countries. There's 50 of them. And every last one of them have the right to make up whatever weirdo laws they want to make up. So you need to know what's specific to your state. And this is why LexisNexis in this letter said to ground it, under Colorado law, CRS 1214.3-107, you have the right to file an action in court or arbitrate a dispute after following all dispute procedures in section 12 through 14.3-106. For your review, a current copy of your file has been generated to include the most up-to-date data. In order to access your LexisNexis Consumer Disclosure Report, please click on this one-time URL that will expire in 30 days. Now, they said they gave her this one-time URL that will expire in 30 days for her to access her LexisNexis Consumer Disclosure Report. Why don't I get that all the time?
Because they get now I need y'all to think about this real hard. When they say 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, these are reporting season. So if they cover their ass in that time of the reporting season and you don't get it, they are of no obligation to hold that, because they are now in a new recording season, right?
Yes.
Right.
And every 90 days it shifts. Every 90 days. So this is the difference between children and adults, minors and majors, because as a child, you're gonna stay up late and miss your bedtime. You know what I mean? You're not gonna get up early and catch the bus because you're a child. You waiting for somebody else to wake you up, right? Because you're a minor. You waiting for somebody to tell you to go to bed because you're a minor. And as long as you behave in that manner, then the major's gonna do what they're doing. They're gonna make their money and follow their interests as they should, because that's what majors do. That's what adults do. We ain't got time to play. We play when once all the work is done. That's when we play, right? So we have to have the same mindset. They're telling you that under Colorado law, you have the right to file an action in court because what has been done to her record was criminal.
Now think about it. We came here because me and my husband fell homeless. Like, unbelievably, we couldn't believe that shit happened to us, but it did happen. And because of that, we started to read the laws of the country, the laws of the actual land, and not the policies that's everywhere. And we found all this information out. But if you are not in a situation where you don't have no other options, they bank on it. They keep you distracted with their work and their school. So you can't address this shit like a major. You're going to have to keep being an infant because you choose that lifestyle. This shit is not easy. You gotta be willing to have people look at you funny, laugh at you. You gotta be willing to not wash up for 2 days because you're living on the street to really address these things. Now, what they did to me that was criminal was the fact that because of this lie in my credit report, me and my husband couldn't immediately just go get another place to live. So we lived in a car for a year. And then we hopped on people's couches for a fucking year. That's damage to our fucking life, our livelihood, our family. It separated us as a married couple. Look at all the damage they caused. That's not just what is it? Punitive. It's not just punitive damages. It's also actual damages. So they up shit creek now. So when I filed this lawsuit against them for the amount, now you think about it. You sue them for, say you want to sue them for $50,000 per account. They just told me I had 56 accounts and I've never in my life opened up that many accounts. So you've opened these accounts in my name or allowed somebody else to do it. Now I'm suing you for 50,000 an account, and that's 56 accounts. That's like $2 million. The first thing they're going to try to do is settle with you. And that's what all the settlement checks people is posting online. They got this check back from them and all that. But that little dumbass $10,000 checks they be giving y'all is foolish. This is real live racketeering. These numbers are in the billions of dollars. And if you take $10,000 off some shit they done made millions off of, then you would be a fool. And I am never a fool. So I want all this shit. And that's what they saying in writing. Now, y'all heard them admit to fucking up. They admitted to not doing their job correctly the first time, so they had to go back and correct it. They admitted to having all of these accounts on here that I do not know about. They admitted to all of this. So now that all of those is cleared off of my account and my credit is back up, now that's 2 credit bureaus. I sent out this information to 4 of them. And I'm just waiting on the other 2 to come back. But you got to think about that. Once you get that proof and that letter in the mail saying that they did do it, that is a lawsuit. And they'll tell you on the paperwork which state that you're from and what the law is in your state. You want to say anything else about that? Or is that it?
No, I mean, that's this is the end of the letter pretty much is telling you what
Steps to take.
What steps you can what steps you can take to rectify. But just as you're going through these, I mean, literally just read every word because and slow down too. Like, don't just like read it as a sentence and then keep going, because most of what happens in the world of majors is in front of your face.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It has to happen that way because that is the design. Even if like I hate to be like religious with it, but if it's like the devil, he don't actually lie to you. That's not, they say the devil is a lie. That I don't know where you get that. It doesn't, it's not a lie. It's just a truth that you are unfamiliar with. And then because you're unfamiliar with that truth, you proceed on it. Like, what, that's about what? Oh, okay. And then you start going down the road that you ain't supposed to be going. Not because somebody lied to you, because somebody showed you something that you wasn't aware of. It's new knowledge. It's not a lie. So that's this world operates the same way. They come right in front of your face and tell you. You see it on the commercials. When they have the small print at the bottom, or when they talk fast.
Yeah, that's a con right there.
That's not a lie.
Why the fuck is that print so small?
But it's not.
That's because they get to say that they told you.
But they told you.
They put it in a way where you can't see what they're telling you.
Now, if you didn't pause the TV and read it, that's not on them. If I said it really fast and you didn't just slow it down so you can understand it, I mean, it's not. I was thinking about this earlier, babe. Bush's family, Bush's what do you call it? Bush's beans or whatever, baked beans.
The dog.
The dog. Right. They say that that's a family. It's a family recipe, right? It's a secret family recipe.
Well, it's probably not their family recipe.
I mean, yeah,
but I know you wasn't going there, but
right. But they say it's a family recipe, right? So now, if it's a family recipe, and they selling it, right? They offering it to you to eat these Bush's baked beans, right? That means that's a trade, right? So that means that family's recipe is a trade secret. A trade secret is completely normal when doing business. I don't have to tell you everything that's in that recipe because it's a trade secret. Now, if you get the beans, though, you can take it to a lab, break it down, and try to figure out what's in them Bush's beans that's making them so good and making them sell like that. You can absolutely do that. Can't nobody tell you that you can't. But you got to buy them first. And that's all I care about, that you buy the fucking beans, because that's what they in business for. So all of us are in business for ourselves. And if you're not out there protecting your trade secrets, if you're not out there making sure that your product gets bought, then you're a loser.
Damn.
You're a loser. That's what it is. Because the way that this system, I know you think this is a country. It's not a country. It's a business. And the way this business is set up is winners and losers. And it's free. That's why everybody wants to come here. Because it's a free for all.
Because some motherfuckers read our Constitution.
Anybody can do it. It's a free for all.
Yo, you
Literally.
ever wonder how come when the foreigners come over here and they got their businesses and you like, how the fuck we always get turned down? But they never do. It's because they read. They read. The fact that after 5 fucking years of me doing this and no success at all, when I figured out what to do, it was so simple and so easy. It took 2 hours and it was done in 4 weeks. Well, and I'm like, all of these dumbass ebooks, and they telling you to do all these things, and it's distracting you from just doing it.
But listen, and I was on this journey. We saw a lot of people who said, if you do this, you change your life. You know what I mean? Send this letter in.
Mm-hmm. All them fucking letters.
Oh my God!
That they send right back. The barrel sent them right back.
I'm just gonna go ahead and talk shit now because I'm glad it's behind her. So I couldn't talk shit about this when she was doing it. But the Telegram groups. Oh my God! My wife spent so much time of her life in these groups, running in circles, learning new templates. And I'm not going to say all of it was garbage. Not all of it. Some of it was good information. But a lot of it was just cops. A lot of it was just agents leading people astray. And it just angered me that people would be that slow, that, I don't know, easy to be fooled. But most of the things could be dispelled by reading yourself. That's it. You can come across some information and somebody can say, oh, this right here is going to change your life. Okay, show me what it is. As soon as they point it to you, you sit your ass down and read it. Read it. My wife is watching somebody on YouTube. He said, blah, 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 blah. I picked up my phone. I looked, I said, that nigga lying. Easy. Read. And if you don't want to read, pay somebody who will read it for you.
I would like to say it depends on the person receiving the information. Because if you are truly a monarch, you can sit down below with the peasant and you can learn from them. Just because you all the way up in court, that don't mean that the people that's lower than you can't teach you anything. I was able to move in those circles like a fucking snake. And I got all the information I needed, and that's why no cop will fuck with me. And I've proven that to y'all over and over again. I would have never done that, known that, had I not been in those Telegram groups. I would have never got the information I got on Trump if I wasn't in them Telegram groups. So it's up to you. You have to be able to see where the truth and the lie is. You have to have a understanding of people to see if someone's conning you.
Their motivation.
Yeah, like what's your motivation? So my husband is right when he said it's a lot of scamming and cons and shit in them groups. And it's a lot of people that look a hot mess just sitting on their phone talking all this shit that they know. But you know the difference between them and y'all is that they still read it.
Yep.
They read it. So they know what they're talking about because they read it. Now, it's a guy on YouTube that teaches this stuff. I don't know his name, but all I know is he's been teaching this stuff about 10 years, maybe 15 years. And he was talking shit about Mansa one time. And I said, I'm confused because you have been teaching this shit for 15 years. But I noticed that's still the same basement that you know, bitch, I said it. I don't give a fuck. I said it. That's the still basement from the first 15-year ago video of you giving this knowledge. So, brother, is it a possibility that you may not know how to apply the information that you have received? And he did not respond to my comment because most men don't when I challenge them. But that's the truth. So if you see Mansa reading the same shit you've been teaching, and then you see Mansa moving differently, he's starting from an apartment, and then he going to a house, and then he's doing this, it's because he's applying the understanding of the information. The same way the Bodigos is applying that information, that they got a motherfucking poppy store on every block in every hood. The same way the Chinese people got every fucking hair store in our country freely doing their thing comfortably because they fucking read. And all we do is talk about they getting this over us. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair that your dumb ass had an opportunity to read now and you still choose not to. How many of us fucking died because we was trying to read? And y'all just saying, oh, I'ma just scroll. I don't gotta read. Somebody on TikTok about to teach me, pointing up in the air at a shaky ass screen with words on it, no verifiable information, no learned information. They didn't actually go out and seek and do an experience to give this information. It's just it's nerve-wracking to see that we have the internet now. We have YouTube, we have social media, we can connect, we can be what we need to be, and we still just scrolling. My whole life, I've been trying to get an 850 credit score. And at every turn, no matter how high I got, they did something to knock me down again. Gus, remember I had got my credit score to 650 and we was trying to do the loan for Chi-Chi Invention. And they told us that our credit was bad. And then we went to go find our credit, and it was Wells Fargo had said on our credit report, we owed them $39,000 for a car that we had already paid off a month after getting the car. So that was on our credit report for a whole year, negatively reporting on the credit report, and it was a lie. So when we called to investigate, Wells Fargo had the nerve to say, my bad. My bad. That shouldn't have been on there because it was already paid off. We had that shit on record. And we sent that to the credit bureau, and they said that Wells Fargo has to send the paperwork into the credit report to move that. My daughter missed out on a great opportunity because of a lie. This is repeated damage throughout our life of these companies doing this to us. And y'all probably don't even know they're doing it to you because you're not checking your report regularly. So I just wanted to give y'all some information. I hope that can help y'all. But I promise you this. You could pay for as many classes you want, ebooks you want. You could do all them processes. But it ain't that fucking hard at all. At all. You do not have to go through all them steps. I promise you. So I hope this helped y'all.